Okay, this is an Okamoto ACC model 618DX. It's currently wired for 220 volts, has a hydraulic unit mounted inside the base of the machine, as well as a external coolant system with a vacuum on there, a dust collector on there that could mount up here if you desired to use that. We also have an over-the-wheel dresser for dressing the grinding wheel. This is a 3-axis automatic. Has all the DX models have this box where you put in the different values for your speeds and feeds, and your changeover points, your grinding mode, you wrap it up and down, your movement of the wheel. So right now we have it running. This is the hydraulics to start, the spindle, the coolant. If I wanted to use the up and down buttons, I could wrap it this up and down here, as well as going over to the hand pulse generator and using that in order to do my setup. Then you could always reset 0. So you have 3 different grinding modes. You have a surface grinding where the column is moving or the saddle is moving in and out and the table is going back and forth. And you have 2 plunge grind cycles or slot grinding cycles where you feed on both sides of the part or just one side of the part. Then you have your edit mode, your setup mode, what they call stock removal. So as I move this hand wheel, I can come down and touch off my part and measure it and put in the actual amount that I want to remove. Let's say I need to take off 10 thousandths and I want to do just the table going left and right. I'm not going to move the saddle. So I would make a little cycle here. My coarse feed, I'm going to have it at 1 thousandths, and my fine feed, I'm going to have it at 1/10. And when I get down to 1 thousandths before final size, I'm going to switch from the coarse feed to the fine feed. So I'm going to start the table. And if you watch the program here, once I flip this into the automatic cycle or the auto sizing cycle, we're going to start to feed on both sides as the table goes left and right, coming down 1 thousandths each time till we get to 1 thousandths, and then we're going to switch over to the feeding in at 1/10. When we get to 0, we're going to do a couple of empty spark out passes and the machine comes to a park. Now we go back to the stock removal setting. We put another value in here, say 4 thousandths. Switch this to the traverse mode and I start the table. Now our table is moving in. The amount that it moves in is adjusted by this potentiometer here. And when it reverses directions, it'll feed down 1 thousandths. So we're feeding across the slide right now, across the magnet. This cycle takes a little bit longer than the plunge grinding cycle. Okay, got to flip it over here into the automatic mode, the cycle start, before it'll start to feed. So that's, there you go. So okay, so we got 1 reversal and we dropped down 1 thousandths. Now we're going back with the saddle. When we get to the other side of the part, we're going to go down another 1 thousandths. There you go. Now it's coming back the other way. This is your magnet. The green light lets you know that it's on. You've got a potentiometer here where you can you can make it variable, the power of the magnet. Okay, now we're down to 1 thousandths. From here it'll go to feeding into 1/10, and then the spark out passes. So at this point we only have 1/10 left to take off the part anyway. It'll do that. And we're bouncing around a lot here because we're sitting on wooden blocks. So now we're at 0. The downfeed is stopped. And we're just doing however many spark out passes I have selected at the switch on the bottom there for spark out passes. So that's pretty much it. That's the Okamoto 618DX. I think this is a version 3, a DX3. Wired for 220 volts, 3-phase. Thank you very much.